The following is a conversation with Michael, crazy Russian uncle Gorelik. Michael is an immigrant from the USSR, made a life for himself in New York, and bestows daily wisdom and positivity on his Instagram. Tune in to hear more about his story. Misha, I'm excited to have you. I've wanted to have you on for a while. It's an awesome opportunity. How are you doing, my man?
I'm excited to see you. I'm always excited to speak to young people, to follow. I don't like to call followers because it doesn't sound good. To my friends. So listen, of course, you're welcome. I have some time and let's talk some shit, man. I'm
Good, good
ready.
stuff, man. Now I'm ready to, and lots of awesome stuff to discuss. You're a great personality and bring a lot of light into the world. But I wish we could speak. We'll get into some of the stuff that you're up to and some of your backstory. But I wish we could speak about better circumstances, as going on in the world right now. A lot of shit, unfortunately, going down in Israel, and a lot of really unfortunate stuff to our people. So, just to get started out, do you have a few words or anything you want to discuss about that?
Oh, this is the only thing is on my mind. I haven't turned the Israeli channel in 3 days. It's all constantly on. I'm missing my Fox. I haven't watched yet. But listen, it's such a big tragedy. I cannot function. The whole family is disbalanced. I have a lot of family there. Two of my nephews is in the army, and my wife. She used to live in Israel. She has a lot of relatives there. So it's everybody on the Lord. Listen, it's. I'm not very religious, but I tell you how it is. I'm hoping and praying. So that's how it
I
is.
understand. Look, I'm not super religious, but I have some religious friends. I have a lot of family there. So you might not know this. I don't think I told you this off air, but I was actually born in Israel. So I moved to America when I was 3. So my Hebrew is shit, but kind of still have family there, and it's very unfortunate what's going on. I think I was driving to Friday, so I'm not so religious, but I went to synagogue on Friday to pray for Shabbat. You go, you got
Of
time.
course.
So, for example, I was going, and on Friday night, I had it in my head. I was like, it's been a quiet news week. Thankfully, that nothing crazy is going on. Seems like people are a little chilled out. And then Saturday morning, we wake up to this shit. It's unbelievable. At first, I thought it was like, I hate to say routine, but there's always some kind of conflict going on. But I thought it was like nothing crazy. And then I read about it. And I was like, this is really fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Listen, our my little granddaughter was over. The parents is traveling, so she stayed with us. So we fell asleep. She usually go to sleep. She year and a half. She go to sleep 7 o'clock. I go to sleep 8 o'clock. So we more or less fell in bed at the same time. And I woke up 1 o'clock, and my wife is in bed, and she woke up and said, "Listen, you with her." I go in the other bedroom, so it's gonna be because she's turning around, like a baby. And I couldn't sleep. I said, I go downstairs, get some tea. And then I pick up the phone. I usually don't do this. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I see Telegram channel, the
Mhm.
Russian, and I follow IDF on Russian Telegram channel,
Mhm.
and I see the notification like nonstop, maybe like 1 o'clock, maybe like I don't know, over 100 notifications. I said, "Ooh, what happened?" And I read notification, and I turn the Israeli channel. Oh my God! And that's it. I didn't fall even asleep for like 2 days. Boy, my friend, what can I tell you? I call my relatives and everybody okay, but everybody worry, because they are afraid of Antifada. Might happen, my attack from the north. It's very complicated situation, and all the Israel, they all these places where they live, they also Arab villages, and it's inside. So it's very, how they say in English, fluid situation.
Fluid, you can ones can say that. One thing that I want to say, and I'm not personally not the most political person, but usually when someone says that, that's when they become political individuals.
I'm political, because I'm retired already for 7 years, my friend. What else to do? I watching the news and I going crazy. But before, when I was in business, what politics? I even didn't know who the president is because I need to pay attention to what I'm doing.
That's how it is. But I think I'm not an expert with what happened, but I think our president Biden, I think is his name, he sent what $6 billion in relief, to be used for infrastructure and medicine and good things. And look what this crap is used for now. It's ridiculous. I think,
Yes, and more. I tell you, you know what? Who I blame the most? I blame Netanyahu because with all his political talking bullshit, he didn't pay attention what needs to be what's important. It's like listen, it's gonna take decades till we all Jews recover from this.
for
You know, and this is it's it's beyond fucked up.
No, I
You know.
agree. Because the thing I was thinking the other day, the issue is whenever like there's a humanitarian relief or like something like this going on, there's no chain of custody. There's no one to be like, oh, like this money has to be used for this or like to check on their end. I was
Of
thinking if
course
there
not.
if
Of
if there
course.
was like an embassy there, someone to like monitor what's going on with these funds, or it's controlled, like giving them this money. But no, they give them the money. They're like, okay, we trust you to like use it well.
No, but simpler is that. Listen, you don't have to be a genius. You want a humanitarian relief? Yes, $6 billion in antibiotics, in the supplies, not cash money. Hey, cash
Idea.
money. This is listen, because they need to put the Jew there to think about this. It's very simple. You want to help the poor people? Yeah, give them antibiotics, bandages, diapers for the baby formula, some books. Maybe, educate people. That's how you help them. You don't help them giving cash that turns into the missiles. It's
Misha, that's a great point. I don't know why they don't hire you for the government. I mean, it's such a simple idea to like give
I
them.
would listen. I would fix it up because listen, I listen. I'm Jewish, and you Jewish, we know everything. Especially the Israelis. God bless them and God save them. They know everything. But listen, I'm not politician, and I'm not. Listen, of course, but I talking with my kishkes. You know what I mean? What I feel, and plus easier for me because I live in two different systems. I was in Soviet Union, and I remember because I was already like man when I left at 19. So I remember very well. And plus I know this system, so I know how to compare, which is make a big difference
It's a good point.
between you young people and between my children because you practically didn't know.
But for sure, a lot of our parents.
Nobody blame you, but this is my advantage.
No, for sure. Look, I have a lot of kind of Russian friends or kind of friends whose parents came or escaped from the USSR, and a lot of crazy, crazy immigration stories. And it's very unfortunate. I think sometimes we think about the small issues we have, like small issue at work or kind of a relationship issue, or a lot of this, as you call, bullshit. In
Yeah,
reality,
everybody have the issues. Yeah.
what you guys had to go with is like deal with is unimaginable. Kind of like escaping the USSR and what was going on there was just просто.
Listen, it was not nothing that was as bad it was. Nothing is bad as nothing is bad. My friend come.
It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay. It's okay.
listen, he's the coolest guy I know. Maybe he gonna go join the conversation.
Sure, go ahead. It's all good.
Senor Caesar. Hello, my friend. Welcome. My friend. Hey, you wanna join the podcast? No. He's a good guy, but he's a shy a little bit.
A little
It's
bit.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Look, it's
Yeah,
okay.
but he's like, what do you like, my friend? You want some water or something?
Good.
Thank you. Yes, my friend. So,
Finn's not liking me today.
the dog is here.
No, he's outside.
Good, because I tried to keep him out.
Yeah.
He was, I think he killed the groundhog or something.
Let's
So he
have a
panicked.
discuss, but
Yeah. So yeah, my friend, this is like we said, this was different system. We understand differently. That's I took it to my advantage, because when I come here and you know the difference, you know the difference.
for sure. Was there a lot of when you were kind of escaping the USSR, or where did you? If you know what I'm asking, where did you leave from in the USSR? Was it Kiev, somewhere in Russia, Moldova?
I live in Babruisk, which is near Minsk. It's Belarus.
Interesting. Wow.
It's about 120 miles from the capital Minsk. But back then when I used to be there, it was one Soviet Union. It's no difference. It was everybody. One thing I can tell you, it was no difference. Hey, listen, anti-Semitism was there at the level of the government. So it was like they was marking you that you Jew. But other, everybody live like pretty much like one family communist, because the regime was so heavy and so brutal. So people really learn how to survive and survive like you adapt and you listen. You Jew, you don't go with the Magin Davider and stuff because listen, first of all you get your ass kicked, and because they don't know what nothing, and you've been hated by the system, and it's a whole bunch of bullshit. And thanks God that it happened.
Mhm.
But no, we didn't escape. Actually, we left in a civil way because they only give you one suitcase, and that's it. But it was not escaping. Like nobody was bombing. My parents took me to the border of the Soviet Union with the Poland, and on the border we said goodbye, and and that's it. They check so you don't take anything out, because they let you out, but they took all the diplomas from people, driver license, and I need to smuggle
papers.
all papers. They will you nothing, because you left Soviet Union. You nothing. You citizen of nothing.
They left you at zero.
Yeah, zero. So you know what happened? And I was leaving Soviet Union. I was 19 years old, and I was going to America to fulfill my dream. I want to be a New York City cab driver, and I have my driver license. And shit, and what to do? This is like a tragic for me. I'm ready, New York City, taxi driver. I didn't see the movie then, that movie exists. It was the Iron Curtain. But so what to do? So my father, he spent 12 years in the Russian prison, So he told me, listen, don't hide it, don't hide it. And this way, you might get lucky. So what do you mean don't hide it? Put it in your pocket. I said, shit. I said, in case they're gonna say, empty your pockets, empty everything, but leave it there inside. What do you know? This same shit happened. My father is a genius. He was a master criminal. you know? And they tell, take your shoes off. I taking the shoes off. The guy pull out the insole, watching, nothing. Said, empty your pockets. And listen, shit, I'm standing like almost shitting my pants. I said, empty. So I empty the pockets, empty the pockets. Okay, put it back. Go. I go, aha, my friend, I got my driver license. So, the minute I got to America, the next day I went to DMV. My friend, because you need to do it fast, so they don't take you the driving test, and the written test, it's in Russian. So okay, in Russian, and somebody give me the paper, the Russian test to study.
Yeah.
So I study on the train from Brooklyn to Manhattan. I read and I passed, and I got my driver license transferred. That's it. I'm a legal driver in America. Second day in America. Cool.
Well, прекрасно. Interesting.
Прекрасно. Then I bought my hot license. The taxi driver license for $300 from one guy in Odessa. From Odessa. Yeah, he was the test taker in the taxi department. $300, and they give me that's it. And all right. So anyway,
Back then.
of course,
$300.
I had to borrow from my friend, and my friend also had no money, so he borrowed from his mother, and I had, it's a, yeah, of course, it's a lot of money,
But
that's the shit.
no, but now it's funny. It's crazy you said I know back then $300, was a lot of money, but right now a taxi license is like a few $100,000. No, it's very expensive now. Yeah.
No, I say, my friend, not license. I'm not talking about license for the medallion. I'm talking about license that allow you to drive the taxi.
Понятно. I hear what you're saying. Okay.
Special license.
The license that is like when you get into a taxi, it's hanging above the meter.
Yeah, this is the license. It's called hack license.
A hack license.
Hack
Yeah.
license.
So listen, but lucky because I didn't speak any English. I didn't know even how to drive this big checker taxi. Like a
Bus. Small
yeah.
bus.
Listen, but that's life. So listen, what about you, my friend? You say
What about me? So I've had my life very very interesting. I'll try to give you the 10-second spiel. So I was born in Israel. Well, actually, no. To give you my parents' background, my parents
Uh-huh.
are both from Kiev, Ukraine, and they had a they also had a crazy escape story. They were both part of like the same movement that left the USSR. They met in Israel, but
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry. I have my potatoes boiling here.
it's
I
okay.
forgot all
We're
about.
live. We're good. Not live. Well, this is podcast. This is conversation. This is life. We have stuff to do. This that. It's okay.
Yeah, my friend, boil the potatoes. My friend come over. We're gonna. I'm cooking a little bit,
It's okay,
and
Misha, don't worry. This is people like authenticity. Shichas, we do a very authentic. This is how we do it. You know, my friend. But
shit,
my
I overcooked the potatoes.
boy,
Fuck.
it
Eh,
happened. It happened. So
it
what can you
happens,
do?
my friend. This is your podcast. I'm gonna have to send you a bill for this
It's okay.
fucking
It's okay.
potato. this is the this is the business Jewish thinking, my friend.
For sure.
You get it, you don't get it, but you can send the bill.
Got it. So, crazy.
sorry, sorry, I interrupt you, my friend.
It's okay. No, it's okay. But my parents also have a bit of a crazy story. They were from Kiev, and then kind of when they were leaving, it was a lot of pressure coming from the USSR. So they worked with like an Israeli agency. Basically, they both kind of escaped to Israel, and then they met in Israel. Me and all my siblings were born there, and then we moved to America in 2004. We were only supposed to, or well, no, 2002. We were only supposed to be here
Ah,
for a few years, but then what happened was we ended up staying a little more than we stayed in America, but still have our whole family that used to live there. Everyone left. My mom has a few friends there, but everyone went to either Israel or Vienna or kind of to do their own things. But they also said it was crazy back then. It was a lot of anti-Semitism, which what you mentioned earlier, but also people just you couldn't make money, you couldn't make a name for yourself. Whatever you made, the government took all your shit. It
of
was fucked up.
course. So listen, that's what socialism all about. So listen, you heard the first hand, no? You didn't experience, but you heard the first hand, right? That's how it is. So
Definitely.
you Yeah, it was tough. Listen, what my friend Caesar, his parents from Cuba, so they experienced it. No, parents was born here.
No, both parents. I'm first generation. They're both born there.
Ah, okay, so he's first year. But listen, he also, immigrant families. My children was born here, but they
They know.
they know everything because they fluent in Russian. They know the heritage. Listen, it's important, but God bless America. you know
But
today I have a DM, because I kissing American flag usually in the morning. It's my ritual, and I got the DM today. Why you kissing this American flag? Kiss my ass, you Jew, and
what?
so yeah, I show you.
God bless. Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Nasty people out there,
nasty people over there, but listen.
These people have hate in their heart.
This is some people, you see, not talking about nasty, talking about animals. You see what they do in the atrocity they causing walking in and take the babies and take the children and like a barbaric, like maybe 10th century mindset, in these animals.
Animals. It's interesting because by the main Muslim, so like if you look at Muslim law, I think it says that like they're very peaceful people. A lot of Muslims are like very very nice people, and they're very peaceful. And even in their religion, it's like not to cause any conflict, to treat your neighbor very well. Then you have like these 10% of people who are like animals and trying to slay us all, and I don't understand what's going on. It's our land. It's the Jews live there, but like whoever can come can come. We're all about the vibes, not the bullshit. Only vibes.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Listen, I with the listen, I think everybody, people is the people. We all bleed the same blood.
In Israel, there's Jews, there's Christians, there's
Yeah,
Muslims.
but listen. There is and here also, but there is some who it is
The radicalized
extremists.
extremists.
Listen, I've been trying to understand myself from my point of view. I read. Listen, first of all, it's only 20% of the Muslim population can read and write Arabic. So what it says,
Yeah, they're 80%.
80% they don't know what this Quran says. Just like, do you know what Quran says? I don't know. And 80% of them know. So what it is imam that, like, you go in maybe not often, but sometimes to church.
Mhm.
I'm not often, but I used to go more often and listen what being said there, and absorb and listen to the. So what happened, what they absorb because they illiterate, they don't know what it says. They even don't know listen. And plus, look where they live, no jobs. They live like in shit. Okay, so they hear what this imam said. Yeah, my friend,
Exactly.
you're gonna go if you kill the Jew. You're gonna go. You're gonna be 80 virgins over there. Hey, listen, I'm sitting shit. What? Look at my life. It's like all fucked up, right? And this is 80 virgin. Hey, mama, goodbye. You understand? This is and that's because people not educated. So it's when it comes to extremists, and then of course, listen, it's you know like Russian Telegram channel shows like crazy shit from what happened in Israel, and now they showing what happened in Gaza because a lot of Russians in Gaza. This intermarriage with Palestinians, it's a lot, and its connection to internet. Israel fucking leveling their block by block. And it hurts to see. Listen, this is people's livelihood. They live there. This is their home. But how there is no justification in any side. But you where are they gonna go? You only can push them into sea. But there is women and children. But on the others and but hold on. But you are vote for them. You find them like a leader and they fuck you up. But it's not children's fault. But it's also. But you know what happened? Look at their education in Gaza. They have a books in kindergarten that shows how to kill the Jew. So So what are you gonna do? You need to kill the children up to the age maybe of 10 or 7. But how can you do that? Listen, other Arab world see it and says, this is, listen, you imagine like Jews is in all over the place, but in one place the Jews would be like this, persecuted like this. Hopefully, we have a history with this shit, right? So it's hard to judge. History is too much, but I don't know. My blood pressure is probably up because of this shit.
It's unfortunate.
So, my friend, so you finish UPenn, right?
No. Penn State, not UPenn.
Penn State.
My mom wishes it was UPenn, but
The UPenn. The Penn State. UPenn. This is where the Biden library is, right?
I think so, maybe. I don't know for sure. I can search up. But no, короче, it's a.
I know. Okay, so Penn State. And what you do, business?
No, so to give you my career, I wanted to work in investment banking. But my first job was I thought was going to be investment banking, but it was actually consulting. So I signed up for one thing and I got the other. Fuck me. So basically had a little bit of a conflict there and ended up leaving there. So for a year, kind of after I left, and a little bit while I was still there too. But basically looked for a job in the banking and did interviews, did all this kind of stuff. And I was very close a few times, and unfortunately, every bank basically told me we don't want you. So what did I do? No one wanted to hire me, so I thought to myself, okay, this sucks. But what can I do? So I started my own thing. I started a media company. I started a podcast. Just starting out right now. But the way I see it is like I tried to work for someone else. Nobody wanted me. Okay, you have to make your own way. So I just started out, but hopefully, as I grow and as I hopefully make a bit of money, I can do my thing. It's a lot. It's hustling. A lot of, it's not just hit record and that's it. There's a lot of behind the scenes bullshit you have to do, a lot of stuff. But the way I see it,
Absolutely. Молодец. Good. Listen, hey, hustle, what Gary Vee said, Gary Vee said that's it. You don't even, listen, when I used to hire the people work for me, I used to tell them like this. Listen, you don't have to think about. All you have to do, just do what I ask you to do. That's it. You don't even have to think. Just do it and you're going to be good. I'm going to be good. You learn. Because I was professional at what I do. So what Gary Vee said, everybody better fucking listen.
just got to do
Right?
it. How it is, for sure. It's one of the things that you can try to work for someone else or try to get hired. But if nobody wants to hire you, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. If God forbid it doesn't work out, at least it's my responsibility. It's on me. It's not someone else or some corporate politics or this or that.
Of course, it's even better. Believe me, it's fine. It's doable, and if you want bad enough, you're gonna do it. We went to the wedding in Charleston, South Carolina,
Yeah.
with my friend's son, and I met I met the kid there. I knew this is my friend nephew. That I remember the kid when we come to America. He was a little kid, and now I see him like chill guy, and I say, hey, what's up, what's up? Yeah, the guy, what's up? You have like 100 people working for him, The guy never finished college. But then he was, I said, shit, I remember you like was really humble, and I remember you humble. He's not so humble no more. I said, and he was very shy kid, but big time, my friend. He's like super doing fantastic. Build himself a house in Golden Beach. Is the most expensive place of of real estate. It's like
Nice.
no serious. So opportunity is there. Listen, of
You
course.
have to go and get it for sure. Golden Beach is actually, I go to Sunny Isles a lot. Actually, Golden Beach is so much so great. For those that don't know, Golden Beach is
You know the Golden Beach. Yeah, I
the
listen.
Golden Beach.
I live in Sunny Isles.
I know. I see the place all the time from the balcony. Children, get up! Got the coffee.
I'm there very often. So I'm going there soon again. But yeah, this is молодец. Listen, hustle, hustle. Maybe along the way you need to try few other things, but who knows? But hey, this is it. Learn. So what is your podcast about?
Oh,
The business, the life, in general, right?
sure. Well, one I'll say, before I get into that, like Slava Boga, I'm able to have such an awesome guest, Misha Crazy Russian Uncle Gorelik on the show. So
That's it. I'm happy. I'm happy to be part of your project. And
thank you.
listen, we stay in touch, and maybe we do something. And maybe if you in the neighborhood, or maybe we meet up in the Miami and
Конечно.
do Or listen, better yet, you know, maybe in a week or so, I call you and we do my live feed with you.
I would be happy, Misha, if you want to take a
Yeah.
live. I'd be more than happy to do another thing for you. You're doing a lot for me, so anything to help you out.
No, not a big deal. Listen, I enjoy your conversation,
I
and I
appreciate it.
enjoy to learn about you. And if I'm in Philadelphia, I'm gonna look you up.
Let me know for sure. No, we'll do
I
it.
go.
Definitely. Would be happy to do your live, and we'll definitely get that one day. But to answer your question, the podcast itself is called Businesses Blumin. So it's supposed to sound like businesses booming, but instead of Blumin, my last name. Um,
Right, I figured that.
Yep, it's about a kind of business and community leaders, and where they can tell their stories and really give advice for kind of career success and how to get life happiness. So that's what my podcast is about, and we have a few other things to get to, but that's ultimately what I'm aiming for, and I'm hoping the show can grow and can be a big successful media company one day.
Yeah, listen, of course, listen, absolutely, absolutely. I'm all for you. I'm not too much in the media business, which is I'm trying to achieve. I wanna be a fucking influencer.
Misha, me and all my friends love you, man. Don't worry. But
Yeah, I love you guys all. And listen, but of course, you never know. One day maybe you have a guest and you somebody click on a YouTube button, bam, and that's how it works.
exactly, for sure. But the one thing I want to get back to, I know you said you were a taxi driver in New York. So is that your very first job in America, like being taxi in Manhattan?
No, first somebody got me the job in Bora Park in one Jewish company, knitting company,
Oh, well,
and but I didn't speak nothing, and only a little Yiddish, what I got from my grandma, and it was a knitting company, and they need they need the worker to carry the boxes and unload the trucks with the thread, and they need this some kind of a fabric, so and I think I start with like a $5 an hour or so. I think even less.
this is big money back then.
Yeah, it wasn't that much, and but yeah, it was tough.
Right here. So how did you did that, and then you worked in as a taxi driver?
Huh?
So you,
Sorry, I was reading the
it's
text.
okay, it's okay. It's Nivonlich.
Yeah, yeah,
So you did that, and then you worked as a taxi driver after the knitting.
yeah. And then when I bought the drive, the taxi license, I started driving yellow cab, and Yeah, and I for like what over 7 years, and I got married, and I still was driving yellow cab, and yeah, but I was not much of a yellow cab. No, I got a lot of tips because I talk too much, and I learned a lot, but I wasn't making too much money. Listen, in yellow cab back then, to make money, you need to work 16 hours a day,
It's a lot.
and I was like, and I was 20 years old. What? 16 hours? The girls, you chill America. What the fuck, You know what I mean? It was
When did that Savage come out? When did the $100 a week? When did you start that?
no, when I was already mature and I have a work in the store and the children was born, it was this 100 hours a week. It wasn't my idea. It was a necessity of putting out. And listen, I did the children go and and I got the opportunity and I want to learn and and the more I put in, the more was coming back. Even when I was a manager, in hardware store, I wasn't the owner. It's more coming in, and then I reach the point, and I come to my boss, and I said, I need more money. He said, that's it, my friend. You're a manager. That's it. Manager don't get paid more. I said, what do you mean? But I'm fucking performer. I sell like forget about. And he said, listen, you want to make more money? I said, of course. He said, go back to drive a taxi. I said, motherfucker, and I was like pissed. And back then, I was making like $1,000 a week. I was putting a lot of hours, but I could afford like cool, I chill. I was upper management, and so I said, "What's up?" So he said, "Next stop, you need to become a partner." I said, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go, buddy. I have no money." So it's a story. It's it was a everybody have a story, no?
Well, did you ever end up becoming a partner there, or you opened your own hardware store?
No, I start working. No, while I was driving cab, my one of my relatives, some kind of a relative, he had a birthday party in Brooklyn. So he called us for the party, and you know how we immigrants. So you know how is the party? It's a table, and she cooks some bullshit, and everybody sit at the table and vodka, and let's go, and that's it. And everybody come out in the building to the staircase to smoke. The Russians. So we was drinking there and talking. The Russian party. And one guy was sitting on the other side of the table and drinking. One mature guy, a cool guy. And so this guy, he likes me. So he called my relative. He said, listen, there is the guy that was talking too much and I like him. I want to give him an offer. What's happened? I buy in a new hardware store. I want him to come to work for me. So the guy called me. It was no cell phone. So he called me. The guy wants to see you. He likes you. He like you. Fuck off. I driving my cab. So the second time said, listen, the guy called again. He buy in the store. He likes you. He wants to give you opportunity. Second time, I have a son just born. My first son. So third time, I said, you know what? Let me check it out. The guy is so hot. And he already had a store on Bleecker Street. So I go to his store, park the car, go to his store. Oh, what's up? What's up? He said, sit down. We smoked it there, talk about. I said, listen, I'm buying the store. I bought the store already. And I'm taking over within 1 week. And I want you to come and, and be the manager. I said, I don't know nothing. Don't worry. I'm going to teach you. You're going to be a good manager. And maybe later on you become my partner. I said, you know what? Let me go speak to my wife. We go, okay, I come outside outside the store, and there's no cell phone, so I don't have to pay for it. Vika, what's up? I said, listen, this guy said that he give me $100 a day, and he want me to work. He's a manager to watch everything, and maybe later she said, listen, you complaining, you don't want to be the cab driver, and you don't want to end up like my father, because my father, he drive all his life from the day one till he died, cab driver all his life.
Wow.
In Israel, in Russia, in America. And so I didn't want to be like this, and I'm like already like 27 years old. And she said, you know what? Maybe you should give her a chance. I said, you know what? Let's check it out. And that's how I got into business. So I got like worker, don't know nothing. I come to the hardware store. He said, don't worry about it. Look and make sure they don't steal nothing. I said, no problem, my friend. About this, I don't steal nothing. So what do you know? Like maybe 3 months later into my work, I caught the bookkeeper stealing. She was stealing from my boss. She's a because when he bought the store, this bookkeeper, she was a sister of the owner of the store. So he keep her as a bookkeeper because she knows everything. And I caught her stealing. So I called, said, listen, I caught her stealing. So he said, listen, and he was in Jamaica. So I called him in Jamaica. He called me from Jamaica. He said, listen, I caught the bitch stealing. So he said, really fired the bitch. I said, She's like a woman, maybe like 65 years old. And I'm like, 30. I said, hey, my friend, this is not my spiel. He said, you come in 3 days, you fire. So he said, shit. He comes and he just died, 70 years old. And so he said, shit, I don't know how to. I said, listen, don't worry, I come with you. Just the bitch, you stole the shit and fuck up. You sure? I said, yes, I'm sure. Here is your proof, because I put somebody write a check, one friend of her, and she like read the check. I make a sale for my friend. Okay, I read the check. Then I see when she made the deposits, the fucking check is not there. Listen, don't fuck with me. Maybe my English is fucked up, but I know how to shit works. So yeah, listen, it's story. It's a lot of different, but maybe we leave it for the next time, my friend. No.
Yeah, we can. We'll resume it for the next time for sure.
Yeah, because to make it interesting, if you're a producer, you need to leave it in suspense.
No, for sure. We can. Is it? I had a few other things I wanted to get into. We could definitely talk about the other story the other time. But Misha, you still have a few minutes?
Давай, my friend, few minutes you got.
I appreciate it. So you mentioned that we'll continue the story probably on your live to for everyone to listen. But you've been able to be an immigrant and really make it in America. Do you have any advice for people in addition to what you say every day on your Instagram story for anyone looking to make it in America or anyone looking to make it for themselves?
Yeah, advice. Listen, learn and put the hours in. What else can you do? Listen, I don't finish. I'm a high school dropout, even though I have a college degree. My father bought me a college degree in Soviet Union for 1 case of vodka and 2 truckloads of firewood. I'm a fucking engineer of the timber industry. But I even didn't bring with me because they didn't let the documents. I need my driver's license. Screw this diploma engineer.
Yeah, I agree. It's. I think it's a lot simpler than people make it out to be.
So yeah, listen, put the hours. Put the hours, learn your shit. But the most important is you need to be like what you do. You need to be passionate, or or maybe you do whatever you need to do. If somebody at the end of the tunnel, you do what you need to do. Like somebody said, oh, I could never be a waiter. Yeah, my friend, if you need to feed your fucking children, you're gonna be a waiter unless you piece of shit and don't give a fuck. You're gonna go do what needs to be done, right?
Definitely, for sure.
Waiter. So
yes,
listen.
No, two other. I agree. The other quick things I wanted to get into. You've been through a lot, have a lot of crazy stories. What would you say right now brings you the most happiness, Misha?
The most happiness, the children, of course, the grandchildren. This is when everything safe and happy. My daughter moved to Florence, and she's so happy. I haven't seen her. She lived in Paris for 4 years, and seems happy, and she loved it. But now she moved to Florence, and she's like very happy. So what is for the father? It's good. She's taking classes in design. It's.
Good stuff.
It's all good. The grandchildren come, it's everything is good.
Awesome.
So that's what brings you happy. And listen, and the happiness, a lot of happiness that my family is here in America, and us being Jews, this is the safest place for us is here. And even though a lot of people don't like us, but this is the safest place for us. Even though we need to watch out a lot of, but it's still. So, I'm happy that I'm here, and listen, and everybody healthy, Baruch Hashem, and
Slava
everything's fantastic, my friend. And listen, I I'd be more happy if I only could be your age, and with experience and
You're
the
great,
brain.
Misha. Don't worry.
My friend, this is the danger. You can do nothing.
Okay. But, Misha, on that note, is there anything else or any final word you have to share, whether it's business advice, life advice, relationship advice? Final word is yours, Misha.
Of course, use your brains.
Yes.
Have love
Know
in your heart.
yourself.
Love
Know
yourself.
yourself.
Love
Love
your
your
country.
country
Love
and
my
your
veterans.
ambitions.
And
And
always
always
remember,
remember,
crazy
crazy
Russian
Russian.
uncle.
I'll
Always
always
love
love
you.
you.
And keep it fucking positive, bro. Okay? And everybody.
Amen.
Listen, life is not easy, but thanks God that we are alive and everything is good. And we need to make a difference in the family, in your bank account. You know the spiel. All right?
Amen.
Tag me in your how it goes podcast.
Will do.
Yeah,
Thank you,
tag me.
Misha.
Thank you, my friend. Listen, it's a pleasure to speak to you. Stay healthy. I love you.
You too.
Be well.
Thank you for listening to my conversation with Michael, crazy Russian uncle, Gorelik. If you enjoyed the episode, rate the show on Spotify, drop a comment on YouTube, and subscribe.